Financial wellness. Reach out to them for advice at 855-DON-GINO. And now back to your hosts, Don Getling and Gino Fronti.
Welcome back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show, right here on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHCS, where every Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., we share with you what you need to know, want to know, and should know about real estate, finance, and your community, and so much more. And we've been able to bring in some of the best professionals for over 5 years now. And there's so many ways you can get great information from us based on us interviewing the best of the best.
Yeah, and one of the things I was thinking about, Don, is that we just touched on that, and I know you were probably going to bring on, talk a little bit about APRG, but I think
DonandGino.com, NREcafe.com.
That's where I was going, is that NREcafe.com is going to relate to this segment specifically, because what we do at NREcafe.com is take the information that's out there and remove all media spins, remove all political spins, and really say, what does it mean to you here in Santa Clarita?
And we actually know what we're talking about, too.
We've been doing a really good job.
This
is our friend right here. If you're watching at donandgino.com, this crystal ball on the table, it might not look very impressive, but it's been doing a really good job for us.
That might be missing by the end of the show, by the way.
And if you hear that lovely voice, we have, back by popular demand, Miss Nicole Stinson with the State Realty Group.
Yes.
And we've been able to work with Nicole a lot. We bring her back on the show a lot because, one, she gives honest, true insight of what's going on in the market, and we pull from her because she's so modest all the time. She's not shy, but she is modest because your whole motto we love is just to help others.
Yes.
And that's how you get your business, is referral-based business, because you build relationships, and we think that's the most important thing that we could have in our business.
I agree.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about what we were just talking about off the air for a minute, and just so everybody knows what kind of person they're dealing with, as she was sitting on a panel advising others in her same field, her largest tip, the biggest piece of advice was don't put the dollar first, and don't focus on that. And I always find that those that don't put the dollar first have the most success. So it's no surprise that you're successful. And then she's got this thing called passion, which is the other piece of the recepe.
Too much, I think, sometimes.
Yeah? Do you think
sure
that comes
Kirk
through a little bit?
Agree when you get home at 9 or 10 at night.
Yeah.
Because I know I see your posts late at night when we're here at the office going, Nicole's still working too.
It's hard to separate. I mean, if it's hard to separate it when you love what you do. There's like no defined boundary.
There isn't. I mean, I think it was 11:17 last night, and I was looking at something, and I'm responding to the email that Taylor sent me, and and then I was thinking about, sometimes people say, coaches will tell you, no, you need to shut down at a certain hour, or you need to have, not look at your email, or I can't.
I can't
do it.
No. Well, it gives us a head start on the next day, too.
Sure does, yeah.
All right, we're going to go into some more, but before I forget, I want to make sure all of you have a way to get a hold of Nicole. Of course, if you can look up Nicole Stinson on Facebook, you'll get all kinds of great information, and you'll get to really know the real Nicole, which is nice because you don't just post business. You hardly ever post business. It's all about just being a good person and who you are and have a good life, and I love that. I look forward to your posts all the time, so I'll get Nicole Stinson on Facebook as well. How else can they get hold of you?
They can give me a call at 661-816-4234.
All right.
At any time. I sleep with my phone. Did I just say that out loud? Wait.
Yeah. I'm going to stay so clear.
Yeah. Let's just moving on. Not
me.
all data is good data.
Yes. Okay, go ahead with that, Gina. Because you know where I was going.
Yeah, I know exactly where you guys were going. So, at any rate, the reality is that we are in information overload these days. We are absolutely bombarded by information, and the hardest part as a consumer, even for me, and I'm a research junkie, is to filter out the noise and find really good information. And so still, no matter what, and you talk to millennials and you go back and do all the surveys and all these massive companies trying to figure out what the secret recipe is, and the secret recipe is actually what you're doing. It's talking on the phone. It's meeting face-to-face. It's pressing palms. It's the same way business was done for all of our history.
Yes.
Now, I think the consumer is more educated when they come to us, but sometimes they have bad data or they've gotten misled. I have a client that's loves me, trusts me, thinks we're the greatest things since sliced bread, but she can't stop calling me every time she gets a flyer in the mail. She says, I heard it's 2.5% now. they went down. I'm like, no, read it. It's 3 points. It's an arm.
Right.
You know? It's not for you.
It's not black and white always.
Yeah. So I think it's the same thing happens, with you when they come to you and say, I found this property on Zillow. Well, that's great. It sold 6 months ago.
Yeah, no doubt. My house is worth this. Says who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just an algorithm, basically.
Yeah, it doesn't do what a real estate professional does. And, there's always the chatter of a real estate professional is going to be replaced by these machines. Appraisers are going to be replaced by machines. Loan officers are going to be replaced by We're not.
No.
You can't replace what we do.
Yeah.
Well, not if you want real good, great advice. There's no doubt about it. All right, so we talked about another thing. I love a topic that you brought up about representation, meaning really truly caring about how you represent your seller.
Yes.
And a lot of you out there thinking about selling your home. It's a great time to sell your home, and you want to sell it for top dollar. So how are you being represented? A lot of you, and we know this for a fact because Gino and I do this thing called signature listings where we promote listings for a lot of our real estate agents. So we get to see a lot of our professionals, I use that term loosely sometimes, I swear, what pictures they post of your home and how it represents you. And you brought that up of like, holy cow. I mean, we see ridiculous stuff, horrible pictures that make no rhyme or reason or sense, and that's how you're being represented. And you were saying, I bet your sellers don't even know. And you had a specific example of one.
Well, they don't know. I don't think they ever go back on. They kind of just are focused on how busy is that agent, how many signs, thinking that they're hiring somebody that's well known, and they're not really looking at how the description is in the MLS once it's entered, and if the pictures are professional, because the pictures, believe it or not, are sort of like the director of first impressions.
Yeah, it tells
People
a story.
are looking at those pictures, and if it doesn't draw you in to engage in that listing, it's not going to get the people there. And
Well,
so,
is buying or selling a home emotional at all?
not at all.
I mean, come on. And that's what you're addressing is that you got to basically draw the emotion out of whatever, though. It might not fit everybody.
Right. You
But
have to fall in
some,
love
you-
with the room, the yard, something.
Because we
And
do,
so-
when we're watching, doing the signature listings, there's many times where I tell, when we're doing the signature listing, I go, and you're going to find me in the backyard. Because I'm not leaving here. This is beautiful, and I
Yeah.
want to be there.
Yeah.
And it drew me in.
Yes.
And then I see others, I'm like, oh, that's a nice door.
Right.
Wait, I'm glad
Or-
they show the 1970s drapes. I mean,
Well, a lot
why?
of
You're
that-
not buying the drapes. You're not buying the couch that they're
Right.
focusing on. You're buying the home and the
Or
room.
the lady
and-
on the couch.
Yes, that was on the MLS last week. A lady sitting in a reclining chair sleeping was on the MLS. So syndicated to 40 or 50 public websites. So they're not going back in and looking. Pictures upside down, pictures that are really dark and the lighting isn't good. It's sort of embarrassing going through with the buyer in a consultation, kind of bringing up the listings, and it's like it makes us all look bad.
Well, and we were talking about that too, Gino, about the descriptions as important. Plus, it's your reputation. I mean, when
Absolutely.
real estate agents or buyers are looking at a property and it's not properly described and it's embellished, your credibility goes way down. We're like, well, that's Marta's, whatever it is. It's her, and she always makes this stuff up that makes no sense. And
It
basically,
erodes trust.
It does. That's
Yeah,
a
and then
good
you
word.
wonder what's going on during a transaction if you write an offer. You're right.
Yeah, so I think that's one of the things, right? You're looking through these transactions. So, just make sure when you're interviewing an agent that you ask them to, hey, let me see the last 5 listings that you took. I'd like to see the pictures you used.
I guarantee you that never happens.
And you can show specifically how you represent them. That's what you do part of your consultation, I'm sure. This is what we do. I mean, if they look how you represent, you're always about your pictures.
And
How you
they
represent.
have to be professional, and we're there
agree.
probably moving stuff around a stage. If I don't like the color isn't popping, we're moving things around. I'm like, it's just a kitchen. No, we want it to show well when we're printing the color brochures, all of that stuff, because what all that is going to do is sell the house quicker, and isn't that why we're being hired?
Yeah.
To get the
hell,
most amount of
well,
money
you're
in the
giving
least amount of
advice
time.
how that happens.
Yeah.
I talked to appraisers back in the day, and we had a little bit of a conversation about, he says, we'll tell you that it doesn't matter if the house looks like a pigsty and it's worth what it's worth. He goes, but it's not true. He says, when I walk in, he goes, there's a difference when I walk into a house that's well kept and nice and neat in the way I feel about it. He says, so if I'm torn between 285 and 288, I'll lean towards the 288 because it was nice, regardless of square footage, bedroom, bathroom count. And I think a buyer does the same thing. They lean towards the higher side if it's got all those little things taken into consideration.
All right. Unfortunately, we have to let you go for our second half of the show. But if you want to reach out to a well-qualified, very experienced, very caring well-prepared, wonderful real estate agent.
Wow.
You are just lovely to work with. Love working
Thank
with
you.
you. You want to enjoy actually the experience of buying a home, as you should. There is a way to do it, and it's working with great professionals like Nicole Stinson. Again, how can they get a hold of you?
661-816-4234 or NicoleStinson.com.
Or look her up on Facebook. I promise you'll get some great information. You'll get to know the real Nicole, as they
you.
say. Thank you for being on our show and always adding value to not just our show, but also our community. You're
Thank
a lovely,
you.
lovely lady.
Thank you for taking care of our clients, too.
Oh, we love it. All right, we'll have you back on as soon as we can. So
Perfect.
hopefully, stay tuned because we also have Mr. Robert Schwartz, Premier College Guidance. Any of you have kids going to college out here?
Oh my gosh. If you don't call Robert, you're being foolish. And you may need to call him earlier than you think. I
Yep.
think that's the number one thing we find with college planning is you're starting too late.
All right, so don't be late to the second half of our show. We'll be right back.